Hello guys, welcome to Freebird's Crew. This is the playlist of data structures implementation in Python with examples. So in this playlist I will tell you about what are data structures and how to implement them in Python, and also we can share some real life examples that can be asked in interview questions and in our daily life. First question is, what are data structures? So data structures is the simplest way to manage and organize the data in a system that it can be easily processed or easily accessed by the user. For example, storing a list of items having the same data type, it can be done by using the arrays. So in this video I will tell you about what are arrays and how to implement that in Python and all of that. So first thing is, what are arrays? So arrays is a collection of items stored in a contiguous memory locations. The main function is to store multiple items of same data type at contiguous locations starting from index 0. So what are you understand by the contiguous memory locations? So contiguous memory locations are the locations inside the system, because as you know that computer understands in the form of a binary language, so it can also understand in the form of a binary ratio. As you see that there is our first location is 200, and the second is 204, and the third is 208, and then is 212. So there is no odd number of locations present in this. Computers always understand in the contiguous memory locations in the type of array. So in this you can see that these are the items, and this is the index, and these are the contiguous memory locations. So arrays also stored in this manner. As you can just call for this item, you can just call it by its index. You can just call the index and it can show you this item present in this array. So I hope you guys clear about the concept of arrays, and now let's move to the properties of arrays. So the properties of arrays are these, like arrays store similar data type of items, and arrays each value stored in the on the base of index, and index is starting from 0. Items are retrieved by their index number, and arrays stored in contiguous memory locations. And at time of creation you should also declare the size of array. If the array is a static array, if the array is a dynamic array, there is no need to declare the size at the first. Before, in a dynamic array, the size of the array increased automatically when you add some items in it. So in this video I will tell you about arrays in Python, that how we can implement the arrays data structures in Python, because as you know that Python has its more generic data structures called list, and list has also the more functionality than the arrays. But to make the concept of arrays more clear, I choose the Python language, because the Python is the language that we can implement anything very easily. So whenever we can go for an interview and interviewer asks for write a program on arrays, you can implement that in Python, because you can have a very easy way to access the arrays in Python. So let's start the implementation of Python. And is in Python a built-in library in Python that is called arrays. So let's start with it. So in this library, it is a built-in library that can use to implement the arrays in Python, and these are it's the table of that arrays, like the type code and the C type, Python type, and the minimum size. So as you can see that here, if I want to just implement for the integer, so I can just use the type code I, and that will implement the my integer type of array in Python. So let's just start with it. So as you see that I can import the array here, and I can just initialize it like array.array, that is I for integers, and I can just make my array here like this. So to traverse that array, I just have to code this print array. Like I have the array of this range 0 to 5, because there are 5 elements here. You can just print all the elements one by one. I can append value 6 in it, and after appending what's my array is, and after inserting what's my array is, after removing and after reversing. So as you can see that my array is this. After appending, its size increased, so you can see that the arrays implementation in Python in a built-in library is a dynamic array. And after the insertion it could be this, and after deletion it could be this, and after reversing it could be this. So these are all the functions in the arrays that are present in the arrays built library. You can just call it by using simple names like insert, remove, reverse. So these functions are in the arrays library. So there are some disadvantages of array that I have to discuss with you right now. That is, the first is its fixed size. So once you have declared the size of an array, like static in static arrays, so it cannot be changed, but it can be overcome by using the dynamic arrays. One block allocation. To allocate the array itself at the beginning, sometimes it's not possible to get memory for the arrays, because sometimes the array is so big, like you have the array of elements like 1000 or 2000, so it is sometimes not possible for that. And complex position insertion, like if we want to insert an element to a given position and we want to shift the rest of the element, this required a lot of time and resources. Like, and now I have just only these 5 elements, so to shift these elements is very easy for me, and there is no space complexity or time complexity. But when the size of array is too big, and then I have to just shift the rest of element, then there is a time and space complexity increases. So these are the disadvantages of arrays. So that's all from my side in this video, and our next video will implement the arrays in the real life examples. So please be with it, and let's enjoy the next part of the part of array. So in this video I will tell you about the static array implementation in Python. So first we have to use the classes and object functionality of the Python. In this I can create a class that is array and initialize the function with the size of array and the array items method and the respective functions. So the size of array should be like that all the items present in the array is of the same data type. So I can just map the array type with the size of array, and array type is integer by default. And also the array items should be equal to the size of array. If the size of array is equal to 3, then there is only 3 items allowed and are of the same data type. And the next function is string. String function is just to return the all the items present in the array, just to print out the array. And our next function is search. The search, to search a specific key item in the array, we just have to run the for loop on the array, and if that key is found in the array, then it can return the index of the position, and if not, it can return the -1. And another thing is the insert operation. The insert operation is just to have insert the key to a specific position. If first we have to check that the position is less than the size of array, and if that it can just add the item in the position, and if not, it can just, that is the array size is this, please enter the value that is between the size of array. And to enter the item in the array, the functionality is like that. I can show you here that assume that we have this kind of array, and I have to add a value at position number 2, this. So I got the size of array, position, where item had to be added, this item had to be added. I can just do the same, check the size of array if it's greater than the position, and then can run the for loop on that. And in this functionality I can do that, like size is less than 2, because I just only have to do the increment in the items, not in the size. So for that I can just assume that we have size of 7, so that 7 minus 2 is equal to 5, and this is the position is equal to 2, the 2 1. So as say that it can only run from here, and it cannot use these 2 items for this, because these 2 items are out of bound for this range. And for that it can just shift your array toward the right. As you can see, it can shift that toward the right, and it can add the item here. And our first array is this, like 1, 4 as I can just add the print array items here. As you can see that array items, so when you print that, you got this, we have this, and now when the function calls, it can become this. As you can see that it is a static array implementation, so there is a little disadvantage that you have to lose the last item, because array size cannot be increased by adding another item at the position number 2. So it can just shift all the array to the right and can make the array with the incremental value, that is 91. So in this way a static array implementation works. So our next function is delete. Delete is just have the function that which key to delete and depending on which position. It can just do like this, only the same, but it just a reverse of it. As you can see, the insertion operations shift the array to right, and deletion operations shift the array to left by deleting that item on that position. So in this way these functions will work in the array implementation. I can just show you how that I can create an array of size 10 with the integer data type. As you can see, these are our items. As it has 0 because I just add up 0 here. I can just make a static array. So these are operations like insert, delete and search. So I can just add up all items here like 4, 5 and 1, and if I have to search for the fourth item, it can be on the index number 2. If I have to delete the item 4 at position 2, so it can just delete that, and if I can print the array, as you can see, it is 5. So it is not like that, it is just have to shift the array in toward left. The delete operation just shift the array toward left. As you can see, I can just declare again the array. This is my array. This is all the items and in the array. This is the I have to search for the 4, and I have to delete this, and I have to size. See, it can just shift the array towards the left. Only that will happen. So this is the static array implementation in Python. I hope you guys like it. Hello guys, welcome to our next part of the video of data structures playlist implementation in Python. So in this video I will tell you about another example of arrays implemented in the real life problems that mostly asked in interviews. So in this video I will tell you about the odd occurrences of number. Like odd numbers are not like the even or odd things. It's like the number that are not meant to be in the list. It can check the pattern of numbers. Like if there is a pattern like each number exists only 2 times, so there is a number that exists only 1 time, so that 1 time number is an odd number, so that catch that number and give you the result. So similarly I can get a positive array of integers, all number of occur even number. Like we have all the numbers that occurs 2 times except the one that is occur 1 time, so we can catch that 1 time number. So I can use the XOR here, like XOR function. As you know that there is 2 elements, like if 0 that is XOR of 2 element is 0 if both elements are same, and XOR of a number x with 0 is x. Like if there is a catch there, then it can print that number only. So I can just got like here like odd is equal to 0 because I don't know have the odd number. What is the odd number like that? I can just run a for loop on the array. I can just go into the number like odd and then XOR then odd num. So in this way I can get the odd number in this odd variable and can return the odd variable. After that, when I run that function on my list, and it give me out of 6, that you can see that there is a 3 2 times, 4 2 times, 1 2 times, but only 6 occurs in 1 times. You can result the 6 in 1 times. So I hope you guys like this video. In the next video I will tell you about the pair sum. Like array, there exists a number, there exist 2 numbers whose sum is equal to the particular number that given to the system. Hello guys, welcome to our next part of video of data structures playlist implementation in Python. So in this video I will tell you about another example where we implement array in the problems that mostly asked in interviews, that is array rotation. That you want to just rotate the array in ordered, like you can rotate the array by 1 digit, or you can rotate the array to left or to right. So I can explain all of this in this video, so please watch the whole video. So for that rotation, this is the logic that I made, that to rotate by 1, just like we can rotate digit 1 by 1 by 1. So we can store the array's 0th position in a temp variable, and we can just you can just move that array into in the left direction, like the array 1 into array 0, array 2 into array 1, and so on. So in this way you can just go into this. Let's take an example of that. We have the array like this. So it is d is equal to 2. Like we can rotate the array by 1 2 times. So two times that we get this array after first rotation, because our this is stored in the temp variable, and this goes in the first place, in second place, third place, this type of one. And this is the first rotation, and after the second rotation it can be done like this. So I made a program of that, like rotate the array. I can just call the function left rotate by 1. So this function do the same, like it stores the array 0 into temp variable, and then just shift the array to the left, and then the last number is equal to the temp, that is array 0, and that function is called in this function. So I can just get at the rotation of the array. So after that I can just make an array here, and I can just print the original array, and then I can just left rotate the array by this, like array 2 and 7, that is 7 is the length. So after I can just get the printed array here, I can get it that like that. And for the right array, for right rotate, we can just do like that only. We can just shift that array into the right direction, only that. So you can just rotate the right also. So in this way you can just rotate the array into left and right directions. So I hope you like this video. Hello guys, welcome to the next part of our video of playlist data structures implementation in Python. So in this video I will tell you about the implementation of the arrays in the problems that mostly asked in interviews. So our first problem in this playlist is find missing values in an array. So how you find there is a missing value in a continuous number of series in an array, like we have number 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is the continuous and sorted array. We have to find the missing number in between that. So as you see, I have an array 1 2 3 5 6. So there is number 4 missing, but how can we find it programmatically? So that can be found with the help of this logic that I made here. So as you know that sum of 1 to n numbers can be calculated by this formula, n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So we can calculate the sum of the length of the array, like length is 1 2 3 5 6. We have the array length here. So that array length we can calculate natural sum from 1 to that array length of n numbers, and then subtract that sum from this array sum, and after that we can get our missing value. So as you see that I can get the length of an array that I bought here, and then I got the natural sum, and then I got the sum of the array that type of array. So this sum we can get the number that is missing. When I run the program I got 4. So in this way I can solve this program. It is very easy program. So you can mostly see this program in many interviews that is asked, like in the very MNCs like TCS, Infosys or Accenture. So in this video I will tell you about the pair sum problem. That pair sum problem is a problem that we have given an array of n numbers and another number that I given to system, and I have to check that there existed 2 elements in the array whose sum is exactly equal to the number that I given to the system. So I can use here the merge sort, because the worst case time complexity of the quick sort is O(n) square, whereas the worst case complexity of the merge sort is O(n) log n. So I can just use the merge sort here to perform this function. Like I can just make the array sorted, then I can just apply the merge sort here. I can just first I can just divide that array into the left and the right. I can just made it like a sum. I can just left index, if the array of left index plus the array of right index is equal to the sum, that a number given, like I number given is 80, so it is equal to the 80, then it return the array. and else if it is less than -1, then it just increment the left index, or else it is increment the right index. Like it can go from there, like it first checked number this and number this. If this is equal to this, then okay, and if not, then it goes to this and check with this. If it is that okay, then it's okay. So in this way it occurs, like if in my example that I have an array, so it first check the 10 and 40, it's not equal to 80, so it's go to the 1350 and it's equal. So if 80, so it's give me the numbers 3050 is equal to 80. So in this way I can solve this problem very easily. So I hope you guys like this. So that's all from my side in the part of the array. In the next playlist of a part of data structures, I will tell you about stacks, queues, and all about that. So please be with it and watch the whole videos and support and subscribe us. Thank you guys.